Happy Thursday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. On Thursdays, we get an update on the drought monitor. And as expected, the drought is expanding here in the southeast and over Metro Atlanta and North Georgia as well. Now, I know that's no big surprise to you probably because it has been so dry lately. There have been just a few of those pockets of isolated showers here and there, but not really anything widespread and not really a lot of rain to add to the ground and that saturation level in the ground. So we could really use some more of that rain, and we may see the pattern change just a little bit going into next week with our rain chances coming back up just a little bit, and maybe for multiple days we'll have some higher rain chances here. But here is a look at the drought monitor as it was released today. And you'll notice that in the southeast we have the red colors here in parts of western Tennessee, southern Arkansas, actually northern Arkansas, southern Missouri here. And that red is extreme drought. Surrounding that we have the orange color, that is severe drought, and then we have moderate drought and abnormally dry. Now that's where you're going to see those colors here in the metro area. Now I know on this monitor it's a little hard to differentiate in these colors here, but you see the yellow color over here in Atlanta. It has moved over to the east. Now we did have abnormally dry conditions last week with the drought monitor update on last Thursday, and that was the first time in a while that we had seen abnormally dry moving into our area. Now that yellow color is expanding to include more counties. Now you'll notice over in East Georgia, they're not included in the abnormally dry conditions. They've actually had more rain in East Georgia, so that's why they're not included in that. But we're not only seeing the yellow color or abnormally dry coming in here, but I'll zoom in a little bit tighter so you can also see this tan color right here. That is where we have now moderate drought. So that goes up into parts of Cherokee County, areas of Bartow County, western Cobb County, Paulding County here, Douglas County, far eastern Carroll County, moving down into northern Coweta County, parts of South Fulton, and also the northern parts of Fayette County. That's where we have the moderate drought conditions. Now, the next one comes out next week, and even though we're going to see a pattern change into next week, I don't think that's going to get here in time enough to see much change in our drought. We may even see it increasing a little bit more when next week's drought monitor comes in here for your Thursday. We do need some rain to move in, and we may see a little bit more of that coming in for next week. The other thing I want you to be aware of, during the day tomorrow, we have another code orange air quality alert in effect. Now, today we had one of those in effect, but I never saw it get up to code orange levels. Now, the air quality index, anything 101 and higher would be code orange. I saw it getting up to 99 and 100 today, but if I missed it, I don't think that we ever got up to code orange officially today. Now there is another chance tomorrow that we could be in those low 100s once again. And when we're talking about unhealthy for sensitive groups, that's what code orange is. That means that if you have breathing problems or respiratory conditions that are enhanced by the buildup of ground level ozone, then you need to be aware of that, especially in the late afternoon hours and early evening hours. That's usually when that air quality index number is at its highest. So it does cover us all here in Metro Atlanta. And before I zoomed in here, let me kind of widen out a little bit more. I want you to notice that Birmingham is also in a code orange air quality alert here during the day tomorrow too. So if you have plans going over into Alabama, they'll be dealing with that over in those areas as well. Here is a look at our satellite and radar, where we have had a quieter day today. There have been only a couple of isolated showers around. Most places stayed dry. And remember yesterday, we were telling you that today we would have a less than 20% chance for a shower, and most of us were dry. We just had a couple little showers that popped up here. This is a 6-hour loop, and you see here in Atlanta, it is dry. But let me take you over on the east side, over toward Conyers and into parts of Newton County and into areas of moving down into Jasper County and over into Putnam County near Eatonton. We saw just a few of those isolated showers. This one here from Rockdale County into Newton County had a little thunder and lightning with it earlier. We also saw a couple of these in the southern parts of Rockdale moving into Henry that also pulsed up with a little thunder and lightning. These showers were small in size, but they did have some heavy rain with them and a little bit of that thunder and lightning. But you see how they pushed down to the south and then they all fell apart. So really, those were the only showers that we saw out there for today for North Georgia. Now, we were watching a few of those down into parts of central Georgia. Those are pushing down to the south a little bit earlier, just south of Macon. We did have a little bit of thunder and lightning with some of those. And then as you see around the entire southeast, nothing really major is moving our way. We're watching some of these showers and storms that are out to the west. There's a severe thunderstorm watching effect for parts of Missouri right now, but we're not concerned about that system that is going to be moving into our area anytime soon. So here is a live look at what we're watching over the city of Atlanta right now, where we have a beautiful view looking over Grant Field there, Bobby Dodd Stadium. A few little clouds that are out there, but no rain in the metro area. Here is our view right now. This is from our tower cam there at Northside Hospital. Looking north up Georgia 400, right here at the intersection of 285 and 400. King and Queen building right here too. Really nice night out there. It is a little bit on the mild side. View of the downtown area from our tower cam over on Arizona Avenue looking over toward the west. Things are looking good. A few of those clouds that you see, but they're not the rain producers at all. It got hot today. We got up to 91 degrees. Now the average high for this time of year is 84. So we were about 7 degrees above the average for today. Our low this morning was 69. We should be around 65 for this time of year. So that was also a little bit above the average. Now, even though this 91 degree temperature was high, which it was, and it was above average, it was still below the record. The record for today's date, 97 degrees. That's a long-standing record. That was set back in the 1800s at 1896. Still no rain officially at Hartsfield-Jackson. So that rainfall deficit is at about 2.86 inches, almost 3 inches below average in rainfall. And that's why one of the reasons there that we have those drought conditions that are expanding, because we're seeing this rain deficit growing just a little bit more. Now, here's a look through the day when we saw those temperatures that were a little cooler. There you see those 60s at around 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we held in the 70s through about 10, 80s at 11, 12, 1, and then here we go into the 90s, 4 o'clock. That's when we hit 91 degrees for that high temperature today, and now we're trending back down into the lower 80s. In fact, we are still at the lower 80s in Atlanta at 81 degrees. That's really one of the only spots we see any 80s left. And as you know, we've talked about this before, Atlanta is an urban heat island. It holds on to a lot of the heat when other areas start cooling off a little bit faster. Here in the city, with all the concrete, with all the buildings around, we stay warmer a little bit longer before our heat radiates out into the atmosphere. So that's why we have the 81 here. But outside the city in the more less populated areas and less areas with all that concrete and buildings, 71 in Peachtree City, 71 in Carrollton. Look at Athens checking in at 71. We do have mid-70s though in Lawrenceville, Gainesville, Canton's at 75. We have 78 in Marietta. So a little bit of a range in temperatures out there. As we go through the day tomorrow, we're going to start off around 67 here in Atlanta. And watch how we warm pretty quickly during the day. We'll be up at 81 already by 11 o'clock. And then topping off at 90 degrees in the afternoon. So maybe 1 degree lower than we were today, but still it's going to be a very warm day out there with those temperatures staying above the average. So tonight we're fine. We don't have any rain around. Through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning, it is going to stay dry. Tomorrow, mainly dry. We're going with a less than 20% chance for a shower. I know this model showing a couple of showers around, but this model has tended to overdo it a little bit over the past couple of days. So I'm still thinking a less than 20% chance for a shower. Going into Saturday, once we get into the afternoon hours, temperatures will be around 89 degrees. What I want you to notice here is a few more of those isolated showers develop. But again, this isn't anything widespread. These are just isolated showers, but there's just a few more of those isolated showers just kind of mixing in over parts of North Georgia. This is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and a couple of those possible here in Metro Atlanta too. So keep your umbrella with you on Saturday for some of those pop-up showers that will develop. Sunday is looking dry. We will see a few clouds in the morning. Don't expect any rain. And then in the afternoon, mainly dry conditions here as well. So here's a rundown of those rain chances. Dry on Friday, then a 30% chance Saturday, looking dry Sunday and Monday, then back to a 20% chance for showers on Tuesday. We are thinking by the middle of next week, that's when we're going to see that pattern changing a little bit, where we have the potential to see the rain chances starting to trend back up. Here's a look at those highs though. Average high for this time of year, 84. We're going to be at 90 here on Friday. 89 Saturday, 87 Sunday, back to 86 Monday, and then 87 again here for your Tuesday too. Here's the latest advisory we have on Hurricane Gabrielle. This was the 5 o'clock advisory. We'll get another one that comes out at 11 o'clock tonight. But here's the storm here. Earlier today, this was looking very ragged, and it was looking like it was struggling to even remain a tropical storm. Then we started seeing some of this convection coming up around it here on the north side of it. So it is starting to get a little better organized here once again. Winds are at about 50 miles an hour. It's moving west-northwest at 13 miles an hour. So it's going to keep moving into that direction. And as of right now, no major threats to land. We need to watch Bermuda, though, because it's supposed to curve away, but it's going to be close to Bermuda. So we'll have to just make sure that that curve does happen there. So hopefully folks in Bermuda are monitoring that. But what I want you to notice here, see how it stays a tropical storm most likely until Sunday. It's going to be slow. Like we may even go back down to 45-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow, then back to 50 on Saturday, 65-mile-an-hour winds Sunday early in the morning, and then potentially a hurricane on Sunday afternoon, and then a Cat 2 possible on Monday as it's doing that curve, moving away from not only the U.S. coast, but hopefully moving away from Bermuda, and then back to a Cat 1 on Tuesday afternoon, moving up toward the north and east. And the spaghetti models, pretty much trending there on that similar plot as what the National Hurricane Center was showing. You can see the consensus of the models here curving it away. We don't really see a lot of outliers trying to move in closer to the United States. So we're feeling pretty confident that that system is going to stay away from us. So here again is what we're watching with Gabrielle. Now, out in the Atlantic, remember yesterday I was explaining to you, we actually had two of these yellow blobs that were on top of each other. One was from a wave that was already over the Atlantic, but was showing signs of not really being able to get stronger there. And then last night it had a 10% chance of developing. Well, that's the first blob that disappeared. This yellow area is from this wave coming off the coast of Africa right now. Once it gets in here out over the Atlantic, that's where, as of right now, they're saying a 0% chance of developing over the next 2 days and a 20% chance of developing over the next 7 days. So we're going to keep an eye on that to see if it's even going to be able to hold together. A lot of our extended models, though, are showing it struggling to even get stronger. So either one of those systems, as of right now, we are not worried about them having any type of impact on us yet, but we'll keep an eye on those for you. Here's a look at the forecast track. You can see that we will be dry tonight, tomorrow mainly dry. Saturday, we'll see that rain chance up a little bit to 30%, maybe just a few more of those isolated showers around. We expect to be dry on Sunday as well as on Monday. And then going into next week, we start to see the rain chances coming up a little bit Tuesday at 20%. And then going into Wednesday and also on Thursday, better chances for rain as we see this rain coverage start to come up a little bit more. We're talking about 30 to 40% chance for rain here for the middle and end of next week. So that is going to be the change in the pattern that we're going to be watching, as we do need some rain to come in here, and maybe we'll see a little better chance for that coming into next week. Whether or not that's going to be enough to curtail the growing drought conditions or wipe out those drought conditions, I think we'll have to wait and see about that, because I think this rain is going to be delayed a little bit before. So what happens with the drought monitor, it's released on Thursday, but it's based on conditions through the Tuesday prior, so 2 days ahead of that. So the drought next week is going to be expanding, even if we're seeing rain coming in here on your Thursday. So here's a look at that 7-day outlook, where we have those temperatures that are hot still, 90 degrees on Friday, 89 on Saturday, but there's the rain chance on Saturday. It's going to be up to about 30%. Then going into Sunday, partly cloudy skies, high temperatures up to about 87 degrees. So temperatures slightly trending down a little bit, but we look dry for Sunday and Monday. Monday's high around 86. Then on Tuesday, a little bit of that moisture starting to come back in. We've got about a 20% chance for a shower. Then 30% chances for rain on Wednesday as well as on Thursday. Now that model that I just showed you, that was the European model for Thursday. And I know that it showed a little better coverage of rain on Thursday. The other models are trending down a little bit. So I'm saying that all to let you know that we'll be fine-tuning these percentages as we get closer to it, and hoping that our rain chances are going to be a little bit higher through the week. But for now, the main summary with this that I want you to know is that it's staying above average, but at least we do see those temperatures trending down closer to average through the week. And then rain chances aren't huge, 30% chance Saturday, dry Sunday, Monday, and then back up to about a 30% chance on Wednesday as well as on your Thursday. So that's all we have for you for tonight on this extended weather outlook here on 11 Alive Plus and Weather Impact 24/7. Be sure to watch us tonight at 11. We'll have another update on 11 Alive News, plus updates throughout the day tomorrow right here from the 11 Alive Weather Impact team.